I was seeing Malcolm, and he took my wallet.
That's negative.
I felt sorry for him.
I was shot 10 times, once in my head.
He just takes out his anger out on me. He knows how to put on a good show. He keeps taking money, taking money.
We got into a car accident.
It wasn't my fault. Austin comes down speeding, going at least 60 in a 40-mile zone, and we collided.
We may have an issue there.
Plaintiff Lakeisha Brazil claims she stood by her ex through tough times, and he repaid her kindness by straight up stealing her money. She's suing for $5,000. Defendant Malcolm Daniels claims his ex is lying and says he's the one who suffered during their relationship. He says he owes her nothing.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. The Honorable Judge Jerry Springer now presiding. Good morning, Judge.
Morning, Naj. How are you?
I'm doing well, Judge.
Good.
This is case number 027 on the docket, Brazil versus Daniels.
Let's see what we have here. The plaintiff, Lakeisha Brazil.
Yes.
You are suing your on and off again boyfriend, Malcolm Daniels.
Yes.
For $5,000 for unpaid personal loans, stolen money, and defamation.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So basically, I was seeing Malcolm in 2013.
Yeah.
We was in a committed relationship.
Yeah.
And he often asked me to borrow money, and he'll never pay it back. Just recently, he had asked me to borrow $3,000. So I'm like, okay, I'm not getting my money back, so I have to stop loaning you money. That's when he took it upon himself to start taking my money.
And how do you mean he took your money?
He brought me to the check cashing place. We went out to eat. Everything was fine. He picks an argument with me. He takes my whole entire purse. He gives me back my purse, but he doesn't give me back my wallet.
How much was that? Is that the $1,000?
That's the $1,000.
That's negative. We've been in a relationship on and off. Good.
What that got to do with
And
anything?
the reason we're here is 'cause she trying to sue me over some money and whatever else that's going on. And I believe that's false because I helped her with studio time. Anybody else, they want an arm and leg for studio time.
You have a recording studio or something?
I have my own place where I do my own music or record myself.
And you're saying she ruined that, or?
She basically blew it because
Yeah,
I give her time.
I'm gonna give you a chance.
I give her the studio time that she want or required. I tell her to do it this way, that way it get more publicity. She'll do it on her terms. Okay, now you give me trash music. I got to throw the music away.
Okay, I understand that. But in this case, no matter how many wonderful things you may have done for her, if you took $1,000 cash, which she didn't say, go ahead, honey, I want you to have this, then that is theft.
That would be theft. However, I never stole from her, and never.
You never took $1,000 cash out of that purse?
No.
Out of that, so she's making up this story, you're
Yes,
saying?
I'm looking you in your face.
When you say on and off over the past 7 years, what has it been like? I mean, at some level, you love him.
I do. I
You
really
wouldn't
do
be
love
with him for 7 years otherwise. But
Yeah. It's not easy because of his situation, and I felt sorry for him.
Yeah, what's his situation? Why would you feel sorry for him?
You want to tell him what happened?
In 2013, January 29th, I was shot 10 times, once in my head.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was induced in a coma. I was supposed to die. It's kind of hard.
Yeah. You can take your time. Let me help you out here. It is obvious that you had some awful things happen to you in your life, and certainly within the last few years. So I get that, and I get that there are obvious strains on this relationship, and that needs to be taken into account just at the human level. And I can see with a number of loans that you've given in the past, you give each other a little bit of space in terms of what you might not accept in another relationship.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I appreciate the love you have for each other. Does he mistreat you other than the financial things?
Well, he has a lot going on upstairs in his mind.
Yeah.
And sometimes he takes it out on me because I'm actually the only person. I wouldn't say I'm the only person, but I stuck around throughout that period of time when he was going through things the most.
Yeah.
And I think he just takes out his anger out on me when I'm just like, I'm only here to try to help you. I do love you.
I don't take my anger out on you.
Yes, you do.
You try to make me feel like I'm less than a damn man.
So you never hit me?
No. I'm
Never.
looking you in your face. I look him in the face, whoever you want me to look at. No.
has hit me on several
Now we
occasions.
talking about that.
You belittle me.
Who tells somebody, oh, you're limited? But you supposed to be somebody's girlfriend, and then great like,
Don't even do that.
Yeah.
I don't say limited like you can't.
You
I'm
do say
saying
that.
you can't
I'm
can't
limited.
work like
You
how
can't do
you
this,
used
you
to
can't
work.
do that, you can't-
It's up to me to work and try to do
But,
things. But at the same time, this is what he do. He will people in over there because he knows how to put on a good show. I'm not
that's
here
her.
for anything but to just get my money back because I got bills I gotta pay.
You
He
paid,
keeps
she spent
taking money,
$300-400
taking money,
on
taking
one
money,
thing
taking
of
money,
hair,
taking
one
money.
bundle of
I have
hair.
text messages to prove it.
Can I see them?
I got a phone and everything with text messages and everything too.
I
still
even
got the
have.
message when you say
What do you
I'm
have?
slow, I'm stupid, I can't walk straight.
You can't be saying that stuff to him.
Come on, man. And then
I don't say
spent
that
the last
stuff to
7
him.
years
Okay,
trying
okay,
to-
I'm just,
I
okay.
spent 7
I
years trying to learn how to
apologize.
walk
I
again,
don't-
All
how to
right.
talk again, how to eat right, how to wash my own ass.
I have exhibit A and B if you want. Just him keep taking things. He took $300 from me. I'm just basically texting him like I want it back. Then this one is about
Do you
$800.
text that after you give it to me and let me use that for your studio time?
He does,
I done broke nights in the cars,
Your Honor.
recording.
When
all
he
type of
talks
stuff.
about studio time, he's basically recording me off his cell phone inside the vehicle.
All
We
right.
do it however you got to do it.
We're not going to be able to solve relationship problems here. But the issue that you brought to the court is the issue of whether the cash was taken from you. Your remedy in the future, obviously, is you won't leave money lying around the house when he's there, or you won't give him loans. So we're down to the $1,000.
I have police reports and text messages.
Okay,
Well,
Brazil
it's H.
states her ex-boyfriend, Malcolm Daniels, had taken a $1,000 from her a couple of weeks ago. Brazil states she tried to give Daniels a chance to give the money back, but he never did. Brazil was not able to show any documentation proving said money was indeed hers. So the police took your complaint and decided not to bring charges because there was no proof.
It was cash he took.
Now, here's the problem. Now, that obviously would be a criminal action, and there was no proof to support a criminal case. You come here, we're not a criminal court,
Yeah.
but we still need some proof. There has to be evidence in a court. So he probably was in a tough time and may very well have. You got angry at her, you took the cash, and you, in your own mind, said, you know, I've done all these things for her. She's cost me money here. She cost me money there. I'm keeping the $1,000. That could have happened.
Nah,
I
because I
have
smiled at you
receipt,
because you're
Exhibit
smug.
C. I have him saying, I got
that's
your
false.
fetty.
You're saying that he defamed you.
Yes.
By? How did he defame you?
She know how to defend her. There's not a guy on
He
this earth that will disrespect her.
He tried to say that
I
I
will
was
never
a
let
man.
nobody disrespect her. Period.
You tried to say I was a
man,
crackhead.
as a man, as a person that believed in my grandmother, everything like that. She know hands
Malcolm,
down. I
can
will
we
never
just
let
be
somebody
honest?
disrespect her. That's
Okay.
why.
He called
I
me.
don't play
He
that.
had people thinking I was a man. It was to the point my mom had to come to him like, she's a woman. You know, that's
But wait
hurtful.
a second. If you okay, first of all, that's absurd.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, if you've been together for 7 years, he probably figured it out. No one's going to believe it, so no one can say that you've suffered damage because he says something so silly as that.
I know you're a female.
So why would you say that?
Yeah, I
Why
know
would
you're
you
a woman.
say,
Okay.
are you
He's being mean, but that's different than defamation.
He also called me a crackhead and a bad cook. Bad
A
cook
bad
is,
cook.
yes.
There's no measurable damage to whatever your life opportunities are going to be, okay?
I have him admitting that he owes me money in Exhibit C.
It's Exhibit C.
Yeah, and I got you admitting that you had nowhere to go, and I let you live with me.
Okay. What does thotting mean?
It means fetty.
Pardon?
Fetty. It means, I have another paper, Exhibit D.
Okay.
It's a definition.
I'll go to level 2. What's fetty?
If you look in Exhibit D, it gives a definition.
Get me to a different page because I don't understand a single word
I
on
mean
it.
money.
Fetty is money?
You got
Yes.
the
Fetty mean
text
money.
on the screen. It says, I got your fetty, it's a wrap then.
Oh, you got your money. And a wrap, that means, okay. And
That's
why
what
do
we
they
was
call
having
it
a whole
fetty?
bunch of
Because
argument,
the
huh?
federal government issues the money bills? Why do they call it fetty?
That's a good guess, you know, Judge. I never
Because
thought
the
about
federal
that.
government prints the money.
Exactly.
And that's why, see?
I like that.
Man, I got some fetty.
See?
I bet you do.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Sadly, we live in a society when people are calling each other names all the time. But in a court of law, to win any kind of a suit on defamation, there has to be measurable damage other than hurt feelings. Regarding the theft of the $1,000, you have to prove things in court.
I just wish you'd be honest.
I-
You know you took my money. Why do you think I keep going back and forth? Why do you think the cops came?
Well, here's my suggestion. If you and I were buddies, I'd just say to you, you got a long life ahead of you. She's in your life and been, during tough times, a good
We're
person
gonna help
to you.
each other.
Yeah.
Hands down.
So you know what? If this is just getting under her skin, start paying her back. If that's all it takes is to give her the money that you could have a good relationship with her, isn't she worth that? That is in your hands. As far as the lawsuit goes, I'm not able to rule in your behalf because there's no evidence in front of me. So I have to dismiss the case. I am dismissing the case with the advice, you know what you can do to fix your relationship. You really should. You're a good person. Do it.
As you can see, there's animosity. So when I leave here, I will no longer contact or I don't want her to call me.
I knew that everything was gonna fall in his judgment because he's trying, everybody feels sorry for him because of what happened to him. Yeah, I feel bad for him too, but that doesn't give him the right to sit up there and take people's money and do all this devilish stuff to people, and then he end up winning the case because sitting up there crying. But when he go home, he's gonna be laughing because he likes to fool people, and that's all I gotta say.
Plaintiff Austin Luther claims he was blindsided by a bad driver. He's suing for $5,000. Defendant Walter Davis Padilla claims the plaintiff was speeding, and that's what caused the accident. He says
raise your right
he
hand.
owes nothing.
Do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
Thank you. The Honorable Judge Jerry Springer now presiding. Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning, Najee. How are you?
I'm doing well, Judge. Thank you.
Good.
This is case number 046 on the docket, Luther versus Padilla.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge.
We have here the plaintiff, Austin Luther, and you are suing the defendant, Walter Davis Padilla, for $5,000 for car damage due to a car accident. Austin, what is your lawsuit about?
We got into about a car accident we had on June 17th. It was around 11:30. I was just making my usual...
Was that 11:30 in the morning or at night?
At night.
Okay.
Yeah. I had just dropped my girlfriend off, and I was just trying to make my way home. It's a drive I usually do. And I actually submitted a video to the court that would describe the accident.
Okay, you're coming down Amar Road.
Yes.
And you're in the left lane.
Yes.
And you're going through the intersection, and the defendant is making a right turn into that intersection, a right turn on red, which normally you're allowed to do. But as he makes that right turn, then he veers into the lane that you're in.
I had swerved into the oncoming lanes in an attempt to avoid him, but we ended up colliding over there.
Got it.
I pulled over onto the right. There was a parking lot. He pulled into the other side of a gas
Yes.
station, and I got his phone number and his name, his first name, and he said he didn't have his driver's license or his registration on him, and he said he didn't have insurance, so we weren't sure what we were going to do there, but he did say he would communicate, helping us pay for it, and we got everything from the cops, and when we came to get his insurance and get the money from him, he said no, and that he wasn't going to pay.
Let me hear from you, Walter. How did you see the accident happening?
Well, Your Honor, I was coming down Sunset Road. I
Sunset, yep.
Stop at a red, make a legal right turn on Amar Road, and then I wait about 5 to 6 seconds before I switch lanes. And when I switch lanes, Austin comes down from Amar Road speeding at a yellow light, going at least, I had to say, 50 to 60 in a 40-mile zone. And we collided when I was trying to switch to my left lane.
In both cases, we have the plaintiff coming down Amar Road. The accident happens when you, Walter, are moving into the left lane. And the question then is whether you had the right to move into the left lane. Was it clear? Which is why the left side of your car was hit and the right side of Austin's car was hit.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get how it happened. Now, Walter, you didn't have your license with you, but you did have, do you have a driver's license or was it a learner's permit?
Well, I didn't have my driver's license at the moment due to the pandemic, but I did have my driver's permit.
But with a learner's permit, you're not allowed to be driving alone. There was no one else in your car, right?
No, there's no one in my car.
This is 11-something at night.
It was around 11:30 p.m. Yeah.
So with a learner's permit, there's also the issue of, are you allowed to be driving alone at night? So that we may have an issue there. Okay. On the one hand, you said he ran a yellow light. Then I turn to you, Austin, and say, the yellow light is a caution saying that you better be prepared to stop. What do you want to say, Austin?
Actually, I disagree. It was a green light for me.
Oh, you're
yeah.
saying it wasn't a yellow light.
It was green for me.
Oh.
I was just going through.
Okay, well, that's important. Walter, you were the one saying it was yellow.
Yes,
but
Your
you
Honor.
wouldn't have even known very much that it was yellow because you were looking at your red light.
Yes, Your Honor, but
In other words, it goes directly from red to green. You wouldn't have seen a yellow light for where you're looking. Regardless of speed, the law is very clear. You may not change a lane unless the lane you're moving into is clear, period. The person who is changing lanes has 100% of the responsibility to make sure that that lane is clear before turning, because there may be somebody speeding. You have to be sure that that lane is free before you turn into it. Because of that, I fine for the plaintiff in the sum of $5,000.
Thank you.
it wasn't my fault, and I still believe it's not my fault.
But I still have damages I still need to repair, but I'm satisfied with the ruling, so I don't mind that much.
Hey YouTube, thanks for watching. For more Judge Jerry, click here. For more Jerry Springer, click here.